All right, so we're firing on all cylinders again with this volume profile thing. Going to go over some trades today. Talked about it in my video yesterday, but a couple of really good setups today using it's just the same thing as yesterday, exactly the same. So I'm just going to go over the basic setup and just recap these trades. So let's get rid of, I'll just keep it on the chart for now. Pre-market, I'll just take it out. So these were the levels I had. Target, this is all-time high, a high of the week as well. And then on 1 hour, we had this 1 hour high. I was definitely bullish pre-market, or heading into the open, I should say, because of yesterday. So if we look at yesterday, again, from a volume perspective, we had this very high volume down candle right here, this 11:15 a.m. I talked about it in the end of my video yesterday. If you haven't seen it, please check that out. And I'm using this fixed range volume profile on the highest volume down candle. Very important. Oh, this needs to be 40. Okay, that's key. Okay, 40. That's what I'm using. I don't know why on this chart it wasn't, but 40 is what I'm using for the setting for the value area. And this candle not only was the highest down volume candle for the week, for the current week, it's basically the highest volume candle in couple weeks, it looks like. Once we get above that, and now this is bouncing off of a key level, we get above it, you can see how sellers are trapped. Anyone who sold down here, because it's a down candle, high volume, they're trapped once we get above. And then we can see how we're respecting right here. And then we continue into the close. So we got a nice close yesterday. And so I was definitely bullish heading into the session today, particularly seeing what happened in Asia. So this is our first 4 hour candle. We're above closing price. We get this engulfment. We continue higher. And then all I'm looking for, waiting for at the open. So let's just mark out, that's the open, 9:30. So after making a higher high, the highest high of the current day, pre-market, we dumped down to these lows, the low that made the high. So from a structural standpoint, it's a significant level. This low led to this high. So the market comes down and sweeps this low. And at this point, I don't know if we're going to respect this or if we're going to keep going to the low of day. It was very possible that could have happened, but that's where it becomes about just reading, in this case, the volume and the price action that comes in after we hit this level. So for me, I actually did not get in here because this would have been honestly probably the best entry right here. I just wanted to see a little bit more confirmation that we were going to clear this opening range candle. Once we got above this, then I knew we were good to go towards these highs. So I was looking at the 3-minute, very clear. This is the highest volume candle. It's the first 3-minute candle. Obviously, it's going to be the highest volume candle. Most of the time, that's going to be the case, but it's contextually what it's doing. It's driving down into this low. And so it kind of confirms, if you will, the stop hunt by my read. So the 3-minute, let's just mark it in green. This is the point of control. This is where the bulk of the transactions were in this high volume candle. And we've completely disrespected it. And look at the actual perfect close. That is perfection. And then we have the entry trigger as well, which is this flip of this bearish imbalance, offering no resistance at all. So there was absolutely no reason to question this long. And it was really just about getting in. So I scaled in a little bit here. And then once we kind of started moving, I added. So my average fill is kind of around here. So we have about a 30-point stop. I'm aiming for this high, but I did not hold until that level because I saw that we were heading into the 10 a.m. new hour. And so I just closed it. 50 points is that's perfect for me. So that was the first trade. But then this one's even better, the second one. We came very close to this high. We have this inside wick pattern, which provided the retracement. But then look at how we close. This is going to give it away. Once you see this, as I talk about in my upcoming video, this is you should see my upcoming video. I talk about this continuation pattern. When you're bullish, it's just perfect. That was just a confluence, but for me, we pulled back into this area of interest. This is an imbalance. So we're just looking to see if we're trying to confirm an entry here. How do we confirm this entry? This is where volume profile really helped me a lot, because if we look at just this section of price, where's the highest volume candle in this vicinity here? It's right here. So I had this down candle, and look where the volume is concentrated. It's at the low. And so once this 1028 candle, this is a very impulsive candle. Once it breaks through that point of control impulsively, and of course I need that inversion, and there is one, a slight one, but it's still there. Look at that precision. So I entered 2 positions here, one kind of around this close, and then it dipped down, and I was just gonna have a very tight stop here because I just didn't see any reason for it to come below this level again. And then I entered again a second position kind of right here. Perhaps I would have been, if I didn't use this, I would have been hesitant because I would see this imbalance and would have thought that this could have been something that rejected price to maybe retrace deeper. But because this volume, this sell volume on this strong down candle is concentrated near the low, I know that sellers are trapped. You know, they're pushing it below here, but then once we get above it here, I know they're trapped. And this is why I use the inversion, because here you can see we bounce here, but there's no inversion. There's no imbalance being flipped. So combining the two is what seems to be working like magic. First partial was at this high that I was targeting on this trade. And then that's about 27 points. And then the second half of my position was about 70 points to the all-time high. Again, using the same technique as yesterday, the exact same setup. We have a stop hunt, we have the inversion, we have the volume profile confluence, and then we have the retracement to an internal point of interest, which is the 15-minute imbalance. And then we're using this as a confirmation entry as well when we invert and have the volume profile in support. So same thing, rinse and repeat, different day, and we'll try it again tomorrow.